Some fans might have raised eyebrows at how much running back Kenneth Gainwell played in the Pittsburgh Steelers season opener Sunday. Even Gainwell himself admitted that when he joined the Steelers via a one-year, $1.79 million contract in March that he did not even envision playing more than half the offensive snaps in his first game for them. "No, I didn't," Gainwell said after Sunday's 34-32 victory at the New York Jets. "I went into training camp and just came in ready to work each and every day. And sometimes when you work hard, opportunities come your way, so I'm taking advantage of that." While much of the fan chatter about the Steelers' running backs core over the summer and during training camp revolved around who would play more, Jaylen Warren or Caleb Johnson, a funny thing happened in the first game of the regular season. Neither served as the primary back against the Jets. In fact, Warren and Johnson combined for fewer offensive snaps than Gainwell did at MetLife Stadium. Johnson played just 2 snaps and had 1 carry. Warren played 25 snaps, and Gainwell played 30-54% of the Steelers' total on the day. Unlike during free agency, this time Gainwell knew he was a significant part of the game plan prior to Sunday's kickoff. "I mean, we game plan each and every week," Gainwell said. "That's something that the coaches do. So, yeah, I knew." In addition to the game-changing, fourth-quarter forced fumble he had on special teams, Gainwell had 7 carries and was targeted 4 times by Aaron Rodgers' passes. Warren had 11 carries and was targeted twice. Gainwell managed 23 yards from scrimmage and Warren 59. Neither output is seen as enough going forward for the Steelers' running backs core. But if nothing else, Sunday's division of labor showed the level of trust coaches have in Gainwell, a veteran who has played in 2 Super Bowls and won a ring by way of his Philadelphia Eagles beating the Kansas City Chiefs in January. Gainwell is a good route runner for a running back and has plenty of experience in pass protection and third-down pass-first situations. According to Pro-Football-Reference.com, in only 5 of 66 games Gainwell played for the Eagles did he play more snaps than he did in his Steelers debut. "I'm just happy I got a chance to get an opportunity to play ball again," Gainwell said. Former Pittsburgh Steelers star Ryan Clark could be on thin ice with ESPN after his on-air and off-air feud with ESPN NFL analyst Peter Schrager last week. According to Front Office Sports, ESPN could be frustrated with Clark for multiple reasons, including the fact that he has been forced to apologize publicly twice in recent months, and the fact that the network hates ESPN on ESPN confrontations. The most recent feud involving Ryan Clark occurred last Friday on Get Up as he was talking with Peter Schrager about the Eagles' close win over the Cowboys and particularly the play of CeeDee Lamb in the Cowboys' loss. During the conversation, Clark said to Schrager, "That's the non-player in you," as Schrager defended Lamb's performance compared to Eagles star A.J. Brown. Schrager was clearly offended by the remark. "Oh, stop. Ryan, don't belittle me like that. I can come in and say, as 3 ex-players are saying one thing and give an alternative perspective," Schrager said. The feud reportedly continued after the show. Ryan Clark eventually apologized for his comments to Schrager on X. "Today, I had an interaction with my colleague Peter Schrager both on and off the air that I regret. I have apologized to Peter and taken accountability with ESPN leadership," Ryan Clark posted. "I value working with Peter and look forward to this season. My focus will remain on professionalism, teamwork, and being a better teammate moving forward." The apology to Schrager came 3 months after Clark apologized to Robert Griffin III's wife Greta for comments he made as Clark and RGII were going back and forth about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Clark criticized Griffin for having Greta in the background of his video, almost seemingly as a prop, as he discussed the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark relationship and why he feels like Reese hates Clark. Clark later apologized for the comment. "So, to Greta, I was out of line. I was out of bounds. I apologize. To all of the people that don't like RG's take or takes or the way that he moves, or even if you just in this conversation take my side and want to support me, leave his family alone," Clark said. It doesn't take a daily attack on his wife, on his children, to remind him that you think his takes, or whatever it is the wrong thing to you. Families should be off limits. I started that by bringing her into it. I see that now. No matter what my intent was, the impact was different. If I had to do it all over again, I would do it a different way. Ryan Clark has been at ESPN since retiring from the NFL in 2015. He regularly appears on NFL Live, First Take, Get Up, and SportsCenter. Prior to joining ESPN, Clark played 13 seasons in the NFL, with most of that time coming with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He played in 177 NFL games and finished his career with 16 interceptions. He was selected to the Pro Bowl in 2011 and recorded 100 tackles in each of his last 4 seasons, 2011 to 14, in the National Football League. The Pittsburgh Steelers are in play for Miami Dolphins superstar wide receiver Tyreek Hill shortly after the start of the regular season. With the Dolphins struggling in Week 1 and more issues seemingly on the surface between Miami and Hill, the wideout could be on the move, and the Steelers are a team to watch. Speaking about the situation, Pro Football Focus Mike Florio revealed that the Steelers have kept an eye on the blockbuster trade market throughout the offseason, and with Hill's attitude toward the Dolphins seemingly getting worse by the day, he's a name to watch. There's already chatter, in the aftermath of Sunday's win over the Jets, that the all-in Steelers could go even more all-in by making a move for Tyreek Hill, Florio wrote. Yes, Pittsburgh already has receiver DK Metcalf, who's making $30 million per year on a 5-year deal. But the Steelers don't have a clear-cut number 2. Hill would be 1B, if not, at times 1A, to Metcalf. The Steelers had plenty of success through the air in Week 1 as Aaron Rodgers threw for 4 touchdowns and DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin, Jonas Smith, and a handful of others all had impressive days. On the team's opening drive alone, Rodgers connected with 6 different weapons as the team scored. Still, Pittsburgh has held their all-in mentality throughout the year, and if Hill is available, it's hard to imagine General Manager Omar Khan wouldn't make a phone call. Pittsburgh checked in on Chris Olave with the New Orleans Saints and even Terry McLaurin with the Washington Commanders. They also brought in Gabe Davis for a free agent visit twice and were one of the league's top names to watch during roster cuts to add to their wide receiver room. Hill had a steep drop-off in 2024, with just 959 receiving yards compared to his 1,700 yards the year prior. However, Miami would need to take on some of the dead cap that it would require to trade Hill, meaning his price tag is likely higher than a typical aging veteran.